It's about to turn up to 11 here in the arena as the hometown heroes are ready for the spotlight.
فخر الوطن العربي راح يتواجدون معنا في المسرح ضد أحد من أفضل الفرق الثمانية في العالم للمواجهة على مرحلة النصف النهائي القادمة غدا إن شاء الله.
One match down, 3 to go, but you can already hear it. The stage is gonna be electric. And our first team up needs no introduction. An abrupt ending last year in the semifinals. They're back for more, and they're gonna try to claim this trophy behind us, but they've got a tough task ahead of them. From the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Team Falcons! They've avenged their loss from a year ago. They took down Furia in the group stage, and then they knocked down the blue wall and earned their spot at the top of their group and their shot at glory here in this weekend's playoffs.
فخر الوطن العربي فريق فالكونز وجد معنا في المسرح. فازوا على فريق فيوريا، الفريق اللي هزمهم في السنة الماضية في جيمرز 8. تغلبوا عليهم، انتقموا عليهم، تقدموا قدام كيكور، فازوا عليهم أيضا وانتهى فيهم المطاف في المركز الأول في الجروب ستيج، والآن هم في التوب 8 متوجهين لنصف النهائي بعد المباراة هذه، لكن خصمهم يعتبر هو الفريق الأول في أمريكا الشمالية. خلونا نرحب فيهم. في المركز الثاني في مجموعة بي جن.G. فريق Gen.G في آخر 7 ميادر هم شاركوا فيها في أمريكا قدروا أنهم يجيبون المركز الأول أو المركز الثاني. هم دائما يعتبرون الجراند فاينلست في هذاك الريجن، لكن عندنا هنا استطاعوا يتغلبون على أحد من أفضل الفرق العالمية وتواجدوا عندنا هنا في المسرح لمواجهة فالكونز فخر الوطن العربي، يحاولون أنهم ينتصرون عليهم ويصلون إلى نصف النهائي معنا في بطولة Gamers 8.
The top team in North America all year, and they know the score here inside the arena. They know they're going to hear it from the crowd. They're trying to silence them. But again, they've got as tough a task as any waiting across the stage. The teams now are going to take their seats, and we will get set for our second best of 7 quarterfinal. Fancy, in a moment, we're about to head backstage and not just watch this match, but listen to and experience this quarterfinal in the arena.
This one is going to be fire. Honestly, the vibe here on stage is going to be insane. And I can't wait to get this match started. أعزائي المشاهدين best of 7 ربع النهائي الثاني في Gamers 8 روكيت ليج راح يبدأ الآن. خلونا نروح على طول مع المعلقين نبدأ في المباراة.
The Transatlantic Alliance of Jack, Nolly, and Chronic have marched into the Falcons' nest. Are they predators or are they prey? The players are ready. The game is ready. We hope you're ready at home as well. Let's send it off to the casters for our next quarterfinal.
Team Falcons are the hometown heroes, the favorites in this matchup, just looking at the results so far. However, Gen.G has been able to get the better of the Falcons on land.
The stadium is packed, and everyone excited to see Team Falcons take the stage. You heard the crowd. Apparently Jack was asking for the boos. And you can see why, as you said, James, the hometown heroes in Team Falcons taking the stage for the first time in this playoff bracket. And this series, a lot of expectation, I think, on the Falcons, not only with, of course, the fans, but I think with their new pickup in Nalpo. They're trying to push this team to the limit. They know they've got version 1 ahead of them if they take down Gen.G, but they've got to take the first step.
And let's just reflect on the journey here in Riyadh so far for both of these teams. Gen.G has had to go through the monkeys. That's how they got here, beating monkeys twice. On the other side, we've seen Falcons have to fight a Furia that has been red hot, and then they took down Carmine Corps to make it to this top 8. They are without a doubt on fire compared to some of the other teams we've seen so far. But Gen.G, when you look at the RLCS LAN events, have taken down Falcons twice, but that was without Naupo.
Of course, it's a different day in a different spot. And for Gen.G, you said that they had to go through Monkeys. They certainly did. They were taken down by BDS as well, and that was not a close series. It was 3-0. They were shut out in 2 of those games as the fans might just rip that one apart. They're shaking that one so hard.
It is electric. You could see and hear the fans going crazy in support of the Falcons, and the boos coming out. You saw Nolly putting, and apparently Jack putting his hand up to his ear saying, hey, just pour it on. That's all right. It's going to be gasoline on the fire. We are not scared. We are here. We know we are in enemy territory, but guess what? We came to play the game, and we're going to settle this on the pitch.
Yeah, we'll see if the crowd affects Gen.G at all. I'm really curious, since we are guaranteed a 1v1 match, what we'll see. Gen.G also has 1v1 weapons here with apparently Jack and Chronic. I think the assumption is, James, we're going to see TRK take the pitch for Falcons.
I think so. TRK has been quite good, and then also for Gen.G, I think we can expect to see Chronic out there as well. I actually saw apparently Jack in the elevator before coming to the event center, and he did say, you know, we're planning on just having Chronic go. He's been having some good results. We're going to stick with Chronic. And so that's what I would expect. But you never know. With Jack, he's a competitor as well. They might have a trick up their sleeve.
Yeah, you never know. Jack and Chronic certainly capable of taking on anyone in the world, especially with the way that Chronic has ramped up into this event. But for Gen.G, everything is against them here in this quarterfinal. And at the end of the day, James, we could talk about the 1v1 matchups, we could talk about the 2v2. It comes down to the threes, Gen.G and Team Falcons. If anyone's going to come out on top, it's going to come down to winning these odd-numbered games. Every 3v3 is so important.
Yeah, but like we saw with the Oxygen version 1 series, version 1, they dropped 2 3v3 games, and they were able to make that up in 2s and in 1s with that crazy beast mode 1v1 surprise against Jorius. So even, you know, if it's true, if you win all the 3v3 games, you have nothing to worry about, but that is a difficult feat. And I think Gen.G has proven their team play when it gets going is quite good. We have already saw some pre-jump plays from them in this event, but the question is, how good will the Falcons be on LAN in these big playoff moments? This is when they really need the results. They had an early departure, earlier than some had hoped for last Gamers8, and now is a chance to really go the full distance, make it to the finals, and claim victory in a way that would truly cement them as one of Rocket League's greatest teams.
Yeah, you can't forget last year, Falcons were able to get through the quarterfinals through Team Heat and then lost to the eventual winners, Furia, in that semifinal. You know, James, the people have shown up for Team Falcons. They're falling over. They're having such a good time out here. But they want this team to succeed. They want this team to go the distance. They want to sing all night long, James, and they got to go through Gen.G to do it.
Now, will it be tears of joy or cries of pain? We will find out shortly. There's a technical issue going on right now that we are working to resolve as soon as possible. And when we do, we will have this first 3v3 matchup. And just looking ahead, Corelli, what do you expect that we will see in this first 3v3 game?
Well, I feel like it's going to be very, very close, but I would pick Falcons right off the rip here. And the only reason I say that, James, is for the reasons that we kind of pointed out earlier on, was that I'm not super convinced by Gen.G's run so far. You know, only beating Monkeys isn't the most impressive run, despite I think you could put a lot of credit and skill behind Monkeys, but Gen.G not doing much against BDS. Meanwhile, as you pointed out, Falcons, they've taken down Furia in 5. And if you haven't seen that series in the upper bracket semifinals in Group C, go back and watch that one. And then they took down the blue wall, as Stack said earlier. So for Team Falcons, they have been tried and tested through the group stage. You feel like you have to have them going into this quarterfinal.
And really, if you're the Falcons, if you can keep that level of play that we've already seen with the caliber of teams and the caliber of players that they're taking down, looking ahead to version 1, I think they might be confident that they can make it to the grand finals. Version 1, you can tell they weren't as confident with their gameplay because they are one of the few teams that switched up who was going out for the 1v1. So they might be looking at version 1 thinking, if we can get by Gen.G, we have a clear path to the grand final.
And you got to think about the confidence here from Team Falcons as well. You know, they drop Khaled for this event. They pick up Naupo, and there's a lot of question marks around that, especially from fans. But I think the proof is in the pudding so far. As we mentioned, some of those matches that they've taken down against elite teams on a global scale, it's convincing from Team Falcons here with Naupo. And I think Gen.G are really going to have to pull out the stops. Again, you really don't want to see a Team BDS type series against Gen.G, not only from the World Championship where they were swept, but also swept here in the upper bracket final in the crew battles match.
So let's imagine that we are going to check a box in favor of whatever team you think has the edge. In 3v3s, who has the edge? Who do you think, Gen.G or Falcons?
I think right now I'd say Falcons.
And 2v2s, who do you think has the advantage?
Oh man, I feel like that one's very close. I'd probably still give it. I think I still give it to Falcons. I think they're better.
Yeah, and in ones, I think maybe you could say it's a coin flip, but really Falcons are in position to truly have a great series here. But we are going to continue to try to work on this technical issue. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, Team Falcons taking on Gen.
In place, I need a vacation. Both hands holding on, but I feel it breaking. If I'm not good enough, how long till replacement? I see right through your disguise, your pretty little lie. What if I told you I know exactly what you are? What have they sold you on that blacktop boulevard? Ooh, I'm doing damage control on my heart and my soul. Oh no, I don't need your help, said I'm good on my own. Ooh, I'm doing damage control on my heart and my soul. Oh no, I don't.
I'm Johnny Boy, and this is Guess the Player with Gen.G's Chronic and Nolly. So, very simple game I've got for you guys today. I'm going to hand you a sheet of paper with Wikipedia results on it. It's going to have the results of a player. And you guys are going to need to guess who it is based on the results alone. Do you think you're going to be good at this?
No.
Yes. No? Yes? All right, Nolly doesn't think he's going to be good at this, but I think you might be quite helpful this first one.
Well, 5th through 8th, so that's only 4 teams. Wait, NA Regional 1, Spring 21-22. Was that not a FaZe player? Wait, RLCS Season 7, that's Liam then.
It's G2? It's a G2 player? It's gonna be,
you're right. Yeah, 5th through 8th. Our brains weren't working. Okay.
So it's either JNAPS or Chicago.
Yeah, it's either JNAPS or Chicago. Wait. We can narrow this.
So you think they applies to both JNAPS and Chicago?
Wait, hang on. He's saying that. It makes it sound like there's something that.
Or he could just get in our head.
No. There could be something that differentiates.
It's not a trick question. No, it's not a trick question. So yeah, that result, you got the roster right. It's JNAPS, Rizzo, Chicago. Okay, you got there. So here's the second player. Tell me who you think this is.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay. Wait, that's okay. Wait, World Champion.
Wait, why do you say wow? What jumps out at you?
It's just a Vitality player.
It's just a Vitality player?
Yeah.
It's Alpha? No. It is?
It is Alpha.
It's Alpha?
It is Alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the third player. I think you're gonna get this one as well.
Okay, well, Worlds, 3rd through 4th. It's either a Liquid player or a KC player.
It's
yeah.
Yeah, it's Vatira straight away.
It's Vatira. Well, it is Vatira. Why did you know it was Vatira straight away?
Because his best results were in winter, and I know that Moist won both those events in winter.
Well done.
And then, yeah.
So winter.
You were severely underrating yourself in this.
I thought it'd be harder.
No, see, I thought so. So Moist, Vatira, and then KC Vatira. That's how you knew it was Vatira. Both. Wow. Let's go for a more tricky one. Let's see if you guys can figure this one out.
Okay, well, 22-2, NA Spring Regional 3, Spring Invitational. Hang on, it's a Fury player. NA Regional 3, Spring Invitational.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive Fury won it. It's a Fury player.
Yeah,
and last year at Worlds.
Yeah, but it could be Jan on Fury for these recent tournaments.
Wait, hang on.
It has to be cards.
I think it does because that'll be with Tander.
Card. What? Okay. Why do you think card?
It had to be Yana card because they were the only two people who had both these results. So and then Yana wasn't here. So
Which
card.
results were they? The ones you're talking about?
Well, last Worlds and then the third regional were both just Yana card, and then Yan wasn't here. So card.
So card.
Card.
That is correct. You're 4 out of 4, and that was a tricky one as well. Okay, last one.
Oh, last one.
And yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I think you're going to get this one. Try speedrun it.
Wait, it's a winter split major.
Oh, it's
so
SIP?
It's just SIP, yeah.
Yeah, it's SIP, okay.
It's not typical.
Wait.
Oh, wait, it was missed.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you say SIP? Why'd you got in my head?
I guess it's missed.
It was missed.
Well, it had to be.
I mean,
we went
I
thuu the
think
whole
you guys
thing.
would have got that
Yeah,
if you took your time.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed that you knew the South America one as well, so good job. And that was Gen.G's, Chronic and Nolly, and they guessed every player.
We are back from the break. We've got the issues hopefully figured out, and now we will be about to begin our 3v3 game against Gen.G and Team Falcons. So, Corelli, we're back.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that we had the technical issue because the crowd was ecstatic to get into this series, but we'll see if, I'm sure they'll pick it up, especially if Falcons start to do well here, James. I'm very excited. Personally, you're asking me who's the favorite in each of these games. What's the series score in your head? Is this one a deep run?
I feel like Falcons have the ability to sweep this series. I think they're the favorite. Wouldn't be surprised to see Gen.G get a couple, but with the way Gen.G's playing, seeing them get swept by BDS, and the fact that we haven't really seen much success from them recently. They were one of the world's, they were actually the world's hottest team way back at the beginning of the season, but they have cooled off. In this event, Falcons have been so hot. I think you have to give it to them. I think maybe 4-1 would be fair, or 4-2, but that's really what you would expect so far, given what we've seen.
Certainly, and that crowd behind them will help, but this first 3v3 will be a good barometer for what is in store here in this quarterfinal, a best-of-7 in the crew battles format.
Like I had mentioned before, Gen.G has been able to figure out Falcons on land before. However, that was without an outbow. Nolly again on the Batmobile as well.
Oh my gosh. I think for Gen.G, the start of this game is so important, especially if Falcons come out slow. You've got to be controlling the pace of these 3v3s. Because everything feels like it's against them right now. Gen.G trying to threaten. Broken up by TRK.
Nolly on Respawn's gonna have to defend here. Goes low off the back wall and still is able to get that save. Huge hit from Chronic, who's looking for a challenge. There's a bump on a player on the back line. You can see multiple go for Falcons, but that corner boost won out by Ahmad.
Great defense there from Falcons, trying to turn it into an offensive chance, and they didn't connect TRK to the backboard. It's an easy touch for Nolly. Going off the ceiling, he might have this one. What a boost he does. Unfortunately, no follow-up, but now Nalpo, can he get to the back wall? He can. Off the ceiling, passing it down, and TRK gets bumped out of the way.
And that was by Nolly. Nolly is really trying to play extra speedy. You saw him make that challenge on the ceiling, also get that bump, land the bump successfully. So Nolly playing quite well so far. Chronic also getting up early on that challenge. TRK in the air with a flip. Goes for a fake, but apparently Jack able to get to that challenge in time. However, it's all aggression from the Falcons. And again, you see a demo come out. Falcons demoing effectively against Gen.G.
That's 2 in a row on Jack, and that's really diminished the midfield presence for Gen.G. As Jack has to go back to his own corner. TRK there to dunk. Falcons, they've been spending time here on the orange half. And now the demos are returned by apparently Jack. This one comes off the ceiling. Now he's there. The defense once again turning away Gen.G.
Now possession for Gen.G. It's a pass to the sidewall, a bit high for Jack. Jack doesn't control it. Low boost for Nolly. Now a shooting opportunity. Bar down and in. Ahmad makes the most of that opportunity.
Across the net as well. Now Poe gets a quality touch to the backboard. You can see Nolly just couldn't get up in time. And look at the placement from Ahmad. Off the crossbar and in. And if you're not marking that back post, you're not going to make that save.
And that happened, that play was able to develop because of the pass that was too hard and too high for Jack to comfortably handle. Wasn't able to handle it, and on that missed touch on the first touch, he gave that opportunity to the Falcons. Falcons making the most of it. Now feeding off that crowd energy. They started hot. Gen.G were able to keep up a bit, but now will find themselves trailing.
That's why this first game and the first couple minutes are so important for Gen.G. Can't let the crowd get back into it off of that technical break. But Falcons have found a way. Just over 2 minutes. Ahmad, flip reset, over to Nalpo. Has to beat Nolly, and he goes for the far shot and put it away. Nolly was being chased in net, and Falcons double up.
Surgically done by Nalpo. Look at this, gets the ball on his hood. Ahmad lead blocking, and the power on the flick. Falcons in control. Less than half the game left to go. Not many chances for Gen.G. We've seen aggression, demos from Falcons, and now 2 really quality goals. Gen.G gotta dig themselves out of this. Another chance. Ahmad going for the challenge. He gets bumped off the ball by his own team, but the net was so open it didn't matter.
And where did Gen.G go? It was just apparently Jack back. Nolly was racing back, but he was well behind the play. Chronic was nowhere to be found. And a 3-0 lead opens up for Falcons with 1:51 left on the clock. A disaster start for Gen.G.
Gen.G, they are gonna perhaps already have to press the panic button. Nolly, a few good challenges from Nolly. There's a shot, but it won't test TRK too much. Little tip, gets it by Nolly, and now moving upfield is the Falcons.
They're putting that pressure on. You can see it was a 3-man attack there. Physically off ball, 1-man on ball, and then the follow-up behind. Falcons shape perfect here. TRK wants the pass. Gen.G very backed up. They're able to get it out.
Falcons trying to kickstart another attack. A huge pinch. Makes it awkward. Chronic tries to move in. Heavy first touch. Slowed down by TRK at the midfield. Taken over by Jack. Jack into an air dribble. Flip reset 50. Gets by 2. Jack going for the bump. Lands the bump. Chronic will be able to pitch this in. I thought Nolly would be able to finish it off, but that play from Jack paves the way.
Doesn't matter how it goes in, as long as it does, Nolly. He had boost, he just didn't boost into it.
It looked like he was perhaps playing the block on whoever was bumped off the net.
Yeah, Chronic is able to clean it up. That's exactly what Gen.G need. Time's against them, 50 seconds left. They're gonna have to pull off something here in game 1, but Falcons trying to not let that happen. Now Poe drops it down, and Gen.G are able to get the clear.
We saw version 1 have last second heroics. Will Gen.G be able to do the same? Oh, there's a ground pinch. It sneaks by Chronic. And there's the Falcons goal explosion in its full glory.
Ahmad, great second touch as he came down to the ground, and again, so many gaps on the Gen.G side. Defensively, they've given the space over to Falcons, even on a shot like that. And with 30 seconds left, I mean, Falcons just have to walk to the finish line here. A rough start for Gen.G.
I think they're going to be flying, Corelli. It has looked easy, and it's been smooth sailing. Falcons We'll have another goal here, wide open net. Now he's just kicking Gen.G when they're down.
And every goal matters here for Falcons. It just riles up that crowd, emboldens them here in this series. You can hear them in the background. Falcons are gonna ride that wave throughout this series. It's on Gen.G to be the difference maker. It's not gonna happen here in game one.
Game one, so in favor of Falcons. Falcons scoring 5. This looks like an early round matchup with how easily Falcons have dealt with Gen.G in the 3v3.
So Gen.G sent back to the drawing board, and now they have to choose between a 2v2 and a 1v1. Both will be played here in this series. It's just which one do you want to play first?
Well, you know, I feel like ones was the one game mode where we were saying maybe it's a coin flip. Maybe.
But TRK, he's had some stellar series throughout their run. You go up against Yan, and while he lost that one, that was a 15-goal game.
And this one almost felt like a 15-goal game.
And he had a 15-goal game against Vatira as well.
And that one was one that he was able to win.
A marathon here for TRK in the ones department, but we'll see what Gen.G picks. Again, Gen.G certainly have the weapons on their side with Chronic and apparently Jack. We'll see if they pick ones. It could be 2s all the way, which is a different discussion, I suppose, but for Gen.G, this pick is very crucial. Finding yourself down 2-0 if they were to lose this next game with the crowd behind Team Falcons is not a pretty spot to be in.
Yeah, and really, all members of Falcons were playing so well. This is a tough decision that Gen.G will have to make. The 3v3s went the way for Falcons, and now we see 2s selected by Gen.G. Apparently Jack and Chronic take the field.
And so Gen.G feels more comfortable going into the 2s as Naupo tries to make his name known instantly here. This one lobbed towards the net, and Gen.G start under fire immediately here.
Do manage to clear it out strong. TRK forcing Jack off the ball. Jack's gonna air dribble it at the midfield. Flip reset, out of boost now. Chronic, awkward, was able to hit it over to the sidewall, but TRK was waiting. Falcons starting this 2s game much like they started the 3s game.
Gen.G have to be careful here. TRK just ran out of boost as he got to it. Chronic tried to land on top of it. Chronic not moving fast enough, but he is able to push it towards net. Naupo gets this ball back to TRK with some space, but apparently Jack shuts him down.
That was such a quick jump. Jack pre-jumping that play, reading exactly what TRK wanted to do. And that has allowed Gen.G to have possession. Chronic is now moving in, pops it up high. Chronic still struggling to find some boost. The corner boost left there nicely. Good communication from Gen.G. Jack pops it over Naupo. TRK up on the side. Chronic now taking his shot, but he's demoed off the ball.
Still a tie ball game. This one almost got poked over. Apparently Jack, maybe a little extra power that he wasn't expecting initially. Naupo wants to go in quick. Oh, he's beaten.
Huge chance here.
Jack, he's got TRK in front, doesn't get the bump. Maybe this one turns back around for Falcons. Naupo tried to play this one slowly, and in the end, it's back into the Falcons' corner.
Crazy reaction time there from TRK, and maybe brought up into the air a bit too early from apparently Jack. You saw as soon as he popped it up, TRK instantly jumped and dodged that bump attempt. Chronic was already upfield trying to get that bump. Maybe it would have been better to leave that ball on the ground, give Chronic more time to land it. So that was the best scoring chance that we've seen from Gen.G. They weren't able to capitalize. And now a jump at the midfield. That's going to get up and over Chronic. TRK with the play.
And I'm curious to see this one from Chronic's POV, because he pulls off the play and he's completely beat. He's stuck in no man's land. TRK knew it. All he had to do was poke it towards net. And Falcons finally break through. You talked about it earlier, James. There's a lot of pressure coming out from Team Falcons. And finally, Gen.G give in.
Gen.G really gonna miss that opportunity. Jack perhaps needing to be a bit more patient. Did so well to get that opportunity in the first place, but TRK so quick to react and then gets the goal. We'll see another wide open goal here. Naupo walks this one in.
Well, what happened here? Apparently Jack was trying to force it, and Chronic doesn't come up with the touch. Punished again. Gen.G are, and Falcons are happy to take it, just capitalizing on some minor mistakes. And Falcons now up 2-0.
Falcons, they were dominant in threes. They are now looking dominant in the 2v2. Gen.G, are they running out of options? Are they running out of gas? It seems so. 1v1, Nalpo wants to take this over to the sidewall, doesn't get the mid boost. Will have to back up. Chronic back down to the ground, using up all the boost on that play. Jack takes over, now running on small pads. 1v1 situation, Nalpo over, goes for the shot, and it's in! Chronic was lost, and Nalpo says, hey, let me find this goal.
It's a combination between being over-aggressive and not aggressive enough for Chronic right now. And Falcons are just eliminating him from the play. Gen.G struggling in these first 2 games, and while there's 2 minutes left on the clock, it hasn't looked pretty for Gen.G. Team Falcons, on the other hand, look mighty confident here in game 2.
This is not the same Chronic that we've seen before, but now a 1v1. Jack goes for an early flick, and it's routinely handled by Nalpo. TRK flops it to the backboard. Jack, hard hit, lovely catch. We'll flick it up to Chronic, double commit from Falcons. This could be good, but Chronic has a very heavy first touch, and it gets away from him. The execution slightly lacking in these moments for Gen.G.
Feels like Gen.G have to score here with over a minute left on the clock. Apparently Jack trying to make that happen here as no one's able to follow up. Both are jumping, both are calling off. Apparently Jack will take it, gets one to dive, and TRK still is able to get the tackle. Demo comes out, and it's just apparently Jack. Nalpo trying to go up and over, and he'll take this as it just runs time off the clock.
Jack fakes the challenge, has it hit over to Chronic. That is a smart play, but Jack has no boost, tries to wall dash, but to no avail. Now a difficult backboard read. Nalpo fakes it. Chronic gets the first save, and precious time ticks away.
A lot of misdirection there from Falcons, and Chronic did well to stay in his spot. There's the bump. TRK denies. Is this a goal for TRK? Wide open net. Chronic can't get back. And a 4-0 lead for Team Falcons.
TRK's reaction time is so fast. We saw it earlier in this game when he jumped immediately when Jack tried to take it airborne. And that play, he knows Jack is going for a bump, sniffs it out so early, dives the lane, and gets a goal for Falcons because of it. TRK and Nalpo, there is no slowing them down. Meanwhile, Gen.G's tires are spinning in the mud.
This was the choice for Gen.G. They wanted the 2v2, and it has not panned out here in game 2. Staring down a shutout here against Team Falcons.
Chronic, he knows that this one is over. Will we see another one? Nalpo across the net. And what was it, 5-1 in the first game, and now a shutout in 2v2s. Falcons are soaring in the series.
They have outscored Gen.G 9-1 in the first 2 games. And that 1 goal coming in the 3v3. Gen.G have got to get themselves sorted here, James, or this series is over.
And if you're a Gen.G fan, it's looking grim. But this game is the swing game. Even though things have not been going well, 1v1s as well. You win the 3s, you win the 1s, you're right back into it. However, what we've seen from Falcons is that they've looked untouchable. The demos, the quick challenges, the execution, they're finding the small windows, they're capitalizing on the mistakes. And on the other side, we've just seen a few uncharacteristic misses from Chronic in this game and Gen.G as a whole.
And how many mistakes have we seen from Falcons?
It's tough to remember.
I would say none.
There was maybe a double commit that we saw.
Possibly. They were able to recover from it, but for Falcons, the challenge game in their favor. Positioning, boost, both in their favor, especially it was very apparent in that 2v2.
And the misdirection as well, that they were able, they didn't score on their best misdirection play, but it just shows the confidence that they are ready to go for anything. They are keeping Gen.G on their toes, showing a bunch of different looks, and it has been a brilliant performance so far. Ahmad joins his teammates TRK and Nalpo to see if they can put Falcons on match point. And that is a good kickoff. The corner boost for TRK. Back-to-back challenges, but that is a double commit. Ahmad, nice first touch. Gets another touch. You can see how difficult of a touch that is for Ahmad to be able to clear that right at net.
And it felt like Gen.G really hasn't dealt with this that well. Still possession here for Falcons, but apparently Jack is able to carve it out and Gen.G get down the field.
One thing that is a bright spot for Gen.G is apparently Jack has been making some intelligent plays that have generated some opportunities for Gen.G, but he'll need some help. Somebody needs to step up as well to assist. Nolly off the Batmobile, notably.
I don't mind the Batmobile, but clearly it wasn't working. First minute almost upon us. It's still a scoreless game. That's a good look there for Gen.G, as these games have had wide margins in the first two. But you really got to show a threat on offense. Chronic through one, and a pinch to the Falcons side will advance downfield, but they've lost possession. Ahmad tries to pitch by one, as Gen.G are kind of jockeying for positioning here in the midfield, but Falcons again are able to deny him.
You can see how hard Gen.G is fighting just to try to get some time on ball. Falcons, though, seem to always have a player ready to pounce. There's a demo from Jack, trying to build up some space, and a bump as well. Apparently Jack, Chronic was trying to get the read off the backboard. Nolly was also right there just in case. Jack's bumps were enough to get a look.
Oh, everyone going here from Gen.G as well. They're sending the house, and still they can't even get a shot on target. And here comes Falcons. Now Poe shot quickly on target. Chronic is able to make the save, and now Gen.G trying to get out. Now Poe wants the control. Nolly thought he had time to maybe go further across the net. He didn't. Gen.G under fire, are able to stay above water for the moment. Ahmad's touch comes out to TRK. The bounce is too high. It's off the crossbar as Gen.G treading here on their defensive side. TRK again will test his luck.
And you can see a double commit on the goal line as well, which was good because Falcons were going for a bump anyway. Falcons are amping up the pressure, shot after shot coming in. Ahmad, first touch, goes up high now off the ceiling, but Chronic reads the play and gets some breathing room for Gen.G.
Scary sequence there for Gen.G defensively, but Nolly's shot was well off.
We've seen two good looks so far for Gen.G. Apparently Jack has been doing fantastically, getting bumps and throwing Falcons off on the back line, but that final shot, elusive for Gen.G.
2 minutes left on the clock. Falcons, they've been in control. And now this shot just goes wide. Now Poe had a small opening on the far side. Apparently Jack now wants to take it himself. Monster flick. And that went a little bit too far.
A little too much hot sauce on that one. Apparently Jack may be surprising himself with how much power was on it. There's a corner pass up high. Now Poe 50ing Nolly. Jack, double tap ball, will stay close, and now trying to get a bump. Sipped off to the corner. TRK helping out. Gen.G looking much more fierce. This is a different Gen.G than we saw in the first 3v3 game.
They certainly have adapted to Falcons. It's still been scary on the defensive side, but they're looking to generate some opportunity here as some demos come out. Chronic has apparently Jack. He redirected this on target. It was wide. Ahmad had to stretch out near post, and it didn't matter as Chronic, he's trying to push it across, but still Team Falcons are able to get out.
It looked like if that shot was even on target, Ahmad would have been able to save it. But we're seeing many more attacks. Now a double commit. Now Poe a little awkward.
Pass.
Nolly the drop pass. Where's the shot? Jack a little slow to it. Chronic will turn. Pass to Jack. Jack low corner, but Ahmad's there again.
The placement was good. It was just Ahmad who chose the spot before Jack, and it was shot directly at him. Some good offense though from Gen.G. They need more of that here in the final 30 seconds.
Gen.G has been the aggressor. They've had the chances. They've got Falcons reeling, and there's the shot, and it's good! Posted in, Nolly is popping off!
Wow, huge pop off from Nolly as well. Literally in his chair, screaming at the other side. And that's a shot to remember. Top right off the post. And Gen.G, they've got 21 seconds to hang on.
Falcons slowed down a bit. Gen.G speeding up. Another chance. Ahmad dodges the bump from Jack, but there is a demo. Chronic was taken out. Nolly trying to stay behind the ball, wants to get a 50 here. TRK, critical position, and he gives up the ball, and that is going to secure the game for Gen.G.
It was not easy for Gen.G here, but they are able to go up by 2 in the final 3 seconds. It would take a miracle for Falcons to come back, and again, it was not pretty at the beginning of this game. They felt a lot of pressure from Falcons, but they're able to cut out 2 goals here and keep Falcons at bay as well, James. We saw a lot of control come out from Team Falcons, and they just weren't able to execute.
That is true. Falcons, they had a bit of control, but honestly, looking back on the game, Corelli, we saw Gen.G, they had way more chances. They bounced back. They had multiple looks. Even before, we saw Jack getting some bumps. Chronic was, and Nolly weren't able to convert on the space that he created, but it was a much different threes game than we saw the first go around.
Well, James, you know what this means.
What does it mean, Corelli?
We get a 1v1. And I don't know who Gen.G picked. I mean, obviously you're assuming you're gonna get TRK.
Yes, I think we will see that. I think we will see TRK versus Chronic. But Chronic has not been looking as good. We saw him struggle a bit with positioning and execution in the 2v2 game. Slow start in the 3v3. Will we see an audible with Jack, who I feel like has been playing very solid? You can tell mentally he is not missing a beat. Nolly hit that last shot, but I think Jack has been playing the most confident out of any player on the field.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I do think it would probably be AppJack and TRK here, unless there's a matchup thing that we don't know about. But a 1v1
and Jack did tell me in the elevator. He said that it's Chronic. We're gonna leave it, and
okay.
It is Chronic indeed, going up against TRK. Big swing game here for Gen.G.
A lot of pressure here on Chronic. And TRK, as we said before, a couple of his games have gone 8-7 twice in a row.
Oh, and the ceiling pitch is saved,
it's high.
It's then high from Chronic. TRK jumped so early on that challenge, you're thinking, oh, this is gonna go in, and then Chronic hits the ceiling pinch. Somehow TRK saves it, but those are always scored on the rebound, surely. But Chronic sent it high.
1 left on the table there from Chronic, and he goes to the sky again. TRK knew that was a fake all the way, and now Chronic will have an opportunity to go up the wall. TRK, he picked up full boost as well. 1 flip reset. Looking for an extra touch. Gotta get the dunk here, and TRK, great defense to push him back.
It is inspiring how well TRK is playing defensively. You're seeing Chronic with space, you see him go airborne, and you're thinking, how is TRK gonna get out of this hard spot? But he does, and now TRK's turn on offense. Early flip reset, and it's gonna be a goal!
That's twice now you've seen the pre-jump come out from Chronic, and he really likes to float there. You can see how long he was in the air, waiting for TRK to choose what he wanted to do. And to his credit, he almost got the save, but TRK better with the flip reset, and he scores the first goal.
And better with the pre-jumps as well. Chronic has had a few chances now, and will have one again. TRK will have to defend from the air, goes off the ceiling, now coming down, closing off the angle. TRK defensively is so amazing to watch, but this could be a goal. Chronic has to get up and over the ball. The shot is gonna be good. Chronic ties it up.
You know, Chronic really likes that aerial type gameplay, James. That's why TRK has to step up his defense, but when it's given to him like this, he ain't gonna miss. Puts it on target, on the open net. Tie ball game.
TRK, very good defense so far. Chronic won that 50. Will he be able to break down TRK, who's been pre-jumping everything? Chronic now defending. TRK with some possession will take it all the way back to his own corner. Will he stay in the air? Yes, he will. The touch sets up the flip reset, saving the flip, and now stealing the boost. A quarter of a take for Chronic, picks up another small pad, another quality 50, and TRK will deny the mid, but Chronic gets the corner.
Chronic really stretching out for the boost there. He knew he had a little extra time, but that That turn had to be perfect. Now he's stressing for
another
possession,
50.
but a tackle will set up the open net for Chronic.
Chronic happy to take these 50s. He's not been able to beat TRK in those 1v1s in the air, but on the 50, Chronic he's surpassing TRK at the moment.
Great challenge there from Chronic. Gets himself back into the lead. This one, James, already hotly contested. As TRK just wants to buy some time so he can go pick up the boost. Here's Chronic on the dribble. TRK goes quickly, and he might be rewarded with a goal. It's wide open. Easy challenge there for TRK.
The reaction time is stunning from TRK. He sees Chronic just take a brief moment too long and instantly jumps on it.
I mean, he knew that Chronic was going to take his time there, called him out.
And it was because of that touch straight up in the air off the kickoff that set him up to be able to get that challenge.
So, two's piece, TRK trying to go up by one, forcing it through. Chronic could do nothing about it.
What are you gonna do here? TRK hand breaking into position, knows he's got this space. That low 50, deadly. He just gotta win that ball forward, and TRK, he's the one with the initiative.
We've seen that a couple times. TRK's tried to force that off an air dribble as well. It didn't go in his favor.
Oh, kickoff goal though for Chronic. Chronic, he is relying heavily on his 50s, and so far it's working. Didn't even flip into that, and it proved to be the right call.
And that's a great read from Chronic, knowing the kickoff that was coming from TRK in a cheeky way to get your equalizer. We'll see what the kickoff is here. Looks to be pretty standard. And actually, it's just a free kickoff goal for TRK, so the favor is returned.
TRK getting one of his own. Chronic trying to side flip there. TRK getting the best of him. We've seen a lot more looks from Chronic. We've seen the wave dash kickoff, no jump that time. It did not work out for him. Let's see what happens here. Looked like another wave dash kickoff, and it did land the bump. Catches it out of boost though, and will decide to take the corner instead of staying on the play. Will it pay off?
Oh, TRK in such a hard spot here. Had to read the fakes from Chronic. Chronic holding the boost game right now. TRK can pick up some pads, and he really got himself out of a tough spot there.
Yeah, Chronic decided not to try to lift that ball up into the air, and TRK was able to jump in, but is that an overcommit? It looks like it. Chronic sends it towards net and ties up the game.
Great work again from Chronic. This time allowing TRK to rush into the challenge, and he stays put. Takes the challenge, the ball will pop up off your car when the defender goes high. And Chronic knew that, so great work to find an equalizer yet again. Back and forth here, James.
Yeah, Chronic seems less interested in going to the air now that we've seen the defense from TRK, and now a corner boost steal. Chronic was inching up. He's gonna have to use a single pad. Now picks up another low challenge from TRK. And that low challenge, he comes out on top once more.
And that's what happens when you don't have momentum going into this. Chronic had one pad of boost, flipped into it, and TRK again baits out the challenge, takes it low, and TRK back into the lead.
It started out as a battle in the sky, and now it's a war in the trenches. TRK and Chronic fighting down low and dirty. TRK might take it to the air now. Chronic jumps quickly, and the 50 sends it out to the corner. TRK up the wall. Flip reset. Jumped on it by Chronic. TRK decides to get the mid boost and gets the demo on Chronic, and will have full possession.
Great demo there from TRK. And look at the space that he's earned himself. Chronic trying to take it up, but now he's backwards. TRK, fake flick, and he'll just go back. As Chronic did well to deny.
Chronic trying to close the gap, and now will win the ball back. TRK hunting for a demo. Chronic will have to be careful. Chronic gets demoed off the ball, and even more time melting off the clock now.
TRK doesn't have to score. He doesn't have to force it. You can see a Chronic now. He has to get a little bit more aggressive. TRK's happy to go back to his side. I'm surprised he didn't even take it back to his corner. Here comes Chronic, full boost. TRK went through. He's gonna try and get his corner boost. Double tap looming as Chronic couldn't put it away. TRK is able to get back.
Yeah, Chronic was trying to capitalize on that overcommit and go to net as quickly as possible. Tried to double tap that ball in, but TRK was back quick enough. Time running out. TRK's shot is gonna go wide. This is the last potential possession for Chronic.
20 boost, a couple pads.
And there's the fake flick, and he flips by it, and that will be game. TRK clutches up.
TRK says round him up. Bring him on home. TRK has been stellar in the ones.
And you can hear the crowd chanting, TRK. TRK stepping up in that game. It was a battle. Chronic discovering that the air was closed, takes it to the ground, wins 50 after 50. Frustrating goals to give up, but the defense from TRK was stupendous.
I think a lot of people might call that game boring because it was, especially that ones game, boring because you felt a lot of challenges happening on the ground. But that's kind of the beautiful thing about 1v1. It's reading your opponent. And TRK got the better of Chronic here.
And he made the adjustments. You saw how crucial the demos were in TRK's game plans. Also, going to the low 50s, finding success, mixing it up. TRK stepping up. You saw him looking up, staring down his competition. He is feeling confident. Falcons now sitting on match point.
And James, you said that this was a possibility, a chance for Falcons to really steamroll through Gen.G. And while it was pretty close throughout that once match, TRK felt like he was in control. So we go back to threes. And a last life here for Gen.G.
There's an early save. Gen.G, they got beat down in the first two games. The first threes game, pretty ugly, but then in that second threes game, they started to make things work. Jack was getting aggressive, landing bumps, creating space. We saw passing come out from Gen.G. It looked like they started to figure things out. They'll need to win this here, otherwise their journey is over. Back pass from Chronic to Nolly. Nolly, hard hit off the backboard. Great read from Nalpo to make sure there's no follow-up, and a huge clear as well.
Sends Gen.G back to the drawing board. Apparently Jack gonna use all of his boost to try to get to this backboard, but an easy touch and control from Ahmad. He gave it up to Nolly as Chronic takes his first foray into the Falcons side as it pops out to Ahmad again. Falcons now on the attack. Ahmad wants to take it himself, doesn't get the flick, and Nolly pushes Falcons back.
Doesn't land the hit on the ball, but will get a ball out center. It could be a scoring chance, but it bounces off apparently Jack, and now it's going the other way. Ahmad over to Nalpo. Nalpo is stopped by Chronic.
Good little passing play from Falcons, just didn't have enough pace behind it. Now a huge flick up to Jack,
who had pre-jumped.
He knew it was coming, but just couldn't get the touch. TRK will be happy to throw this one downfield.
Chronic trying to catch it on the back wall and does so nicely. Lead blocker from apparently Jack lands a demo. Chronic not able to get the 50, but Nolly now has the ball. Pinch rolls up the wall. Nalpo dodging the bump and now forcing it by. This is going to be a wide open net for Ahmad.
What a dunk from Nalpo. Takes it to the sky, beats the first man, but then the dunk to keep it going. Ahmad there to follow up. And Falcons a well-earned first goal.
Falcons, they started hot and they might end hot as well. Nalpo defensively leading the counterattack, generating that goal with Ahmad. Gen.G, they feel the sides closing in. Their vision starting to blur. TRK not able to put one more in.
It really is scary for Gen.G. As we talked about earlier in the series, especially during game one, you got the crowd going against you. Everything that Falcons does is great, but this is not great from Falcons. The back post was open, and apparently Jack finds the equalizer.
And Nalpo going up on that 50 from Chronic. Ahmad just doesn't make contact on that ball. If Ahmad is able to hit that to the corner, that play fizzles out, but Ahmad driving right by the ball, left it in a vulnerable spot. And that's gonna be an easy goal for Gen.G. So Gen.G have some hope now that there's a bump. Nolly streaking back to cover. And now Nolly with a chance for a solo play. Goes for an air dribble bump, lands it, and it's an awkward ball. It just bounces in.
And another pop off from Nolly. You thought this one was broken up enough that it wasn't gonna trickle in. but Ahmad gets bumped out of the way. TRK can't get a read on the play in time, and it bounces in top right.
Well, you saw the trail change to blue. That means the defender got just enough of it to make it an awkward read. And yeah, you know, I wonder if all of the booing and the crowd opposition to Nolly has actually hyped him up.
Oh, I'm sure it has. I mean, you can see it in the camera as well. Every time he's scoring, he's popping off with his team, and Gen.G have found a way into the lead.
Jack trying to bump TRK off the ball. Chronic, good speed. Ahmad hoping to control it. Really well done by Ahmad to stay behind it. However, loses the ball there. Nalpo going for an upfield pass. It gets by Jack and hits off the post, and it's picked up by Nalpo. Apparently, Jack, we have to see what happened here.
It just went over. It just didn't connect. He couldn't get up in time. And Nolly trying to pick up the slack, but Nalpo finally able to put it away for Falcons, and Gen.G blunders there defensively, allows Team Falcons to crawl back.
Slight miscalculation from Jack, thinking that he had enough boost and enough time to get to that ball. It sailed over his head, and now the lead is given up. Falcons want to end this here and now. But Gen.G has shown their prowess in threes. Jack up near the ceiling. Now back to the corner, pass over, double commit from Falcons. Can Nolly control this ball quickly? Shoots right away, but it was at the heart of the defense.
Yeah, it was a poor shot there from Nolly. Apparently Jack trying to dunk it through. Chronic gonna pick his time to go, and Nolly happy to pick this one up as everyone from Falcons was committed defensively. Apparently Jack doesn't get the touch on target. And Gen.G, they've been knocking on the door here, ramping up, flip reset, and TRK is able to make the clear.
Chronic did use his flip for a wave dash bump in net, trying to prevent Falcons from breaking out. Nalpo going for a ground pinch, or a 50 rather, and it does win over to the side.
Oh my.
A miss from Nolly. Is that gonna be a goal? It is a disastrous mistake from Gen.G.
Instantly punished. Nolly not getting that touch, and you can see what happens. It throws off apparently Jack. He thought Nolly was gonna get it, so he could cheat to the boost. But when he does it, the back post is exposed. And Falcons, 59 seconds left to close out this series.
Not the cleanest defensive plays from Gen.G. Now a drop pass that will be saved. However, we've seen, oh, hold on a second. Chronic doesn't get the first touch he's looking for, and also missing out on that boost steal. But Corelli, Gen.G are gonna be kicking themselves. We saw the miss from Jack, we saw the miss from Nolly, and now they're trailing by one, and they only have seconds remaining in the game.
Some of the mistakes have been disappointing from Gen.G, but you got 30 seconds left. You have to push. You have to get it all out of your mind here. This could be the attack, as apparently Jack can't hang on. Chronic, pass over to Nolly, back to Chronic. Chronic shots on target, but Ahmad read it all the way.
And there's another infield pass, but it's 15 all the way back. Jack being juggled, and there's a pinch goal! TRK with an impossible angle, and he gets another goal for Falcons.
He's rumbling and stumbling downfield. He had apparently Jack landing on top. He had to make the play to secure Game 5. Falcons marching to victory now.
TRK won the 1v1, but we're seeing Chronic now, though, refuse to give up.
Hold on.
And things getting a bit more interesting. It looked like this game was done and dusted, but with that kickoff goal, there's now a chance for Gen.G.
A great touch there from Nolly. He had a defender in his face. To get that one out without a touch on it was quality. Let's see what the kickoff is. It goes to apparently Jack, but he can't catch up to it, and he missed the boost. 4 seconds left. Gen.G trying to find a way out. They have to have the long clear. Here comes Nolly, but Falcons looking to deny. Apparently Jack, he can't get under it. Falcons take down Gen.G in dominant fashion.
And you can see the look on Jack's face when he wasn't able to keep that ball up. Pure pain. But on the other side, elation for Team Falcons, who have shown us dominant gameplay. 5-1 in the first game. 4-0 in the 2v2. They got out on a roll. It was too tough to stop them. They got too much of a lead. And they'll be moving on to play version 1 for a spot in the grand finals.
You're right. A date with version 1 is ahead of them. That semifinal is one that a lot of people wanted to see as well. We've gotten Rule 1 versus version 1, but not the other side of Mina. Team Falcons now deconstruct Gen.G.
Oh, what a word, and it's true. In those games, TRK was lights out. Ahmad defensively predicting where Gen.G wanted to shoot. Now Bo, we saw that 50 from him, setting up Ahmad in a big moment, stepping in and doing a wonderful job. That was truly incredible from Falcons.
The crowd, we know, we love it. They've gone crazy for this Falcons squad. They were singing, they were chanting as they took the stage, and they've watched their team take down North America.
Team Falcons, can they get further than they went before? They're in the semifinals. Will they get to the grand finals? And to talk about it, we've got Stacks on the main stage.
We're here now with Ahmad and the victorious Team Falcons. First of all, congratulations on the win. You have this whole arena behind you. How does that feel on the stage? What do you see? What do you hear?
صراحة لولا الله ثم الجمهور كان ما سوينا اللي سويناه وجهدهم يعني الكثير.
We just asked Ahmed about what it feels like to be on stage, and the main thing that he wanted to say is that if it wasn't for the audience being on stage here, we wouldn't have done what we just did. So we are very grateful to just have them here, be with us in the arena.
Your first event with Nopo, talk about the preparation, getting him ready for this series and this tournament on such short notice.
نوبو بتواجدوا معكم في أول مرة يجون معكم في البطولة. نوبو الآن يعتبر شيء جديد بالفريق، ما في سينرجي بينكم كثيرة، لكن قدرتوا انكم توصلون للمرحلة هذه مع نوبو. فوش رايك في الراسطة الجديدة الآن وقد ايش انتم جاهزين وكيف جهزتوا أصلا للبطولة مع نوبو؟
صراحة بدينا بفترة وجيزة، لكن كل جيم نلعبه نتطور أكثر، فهذا الشيء الكويس.
Ahmed is saying that even though he just joined the team and we're still working on the synergy, but we're very impressed on the progress that we have made, and it's just going to get better from now on.
Another player who's made a lot of progress, TRK. It's hard to imagine how he could be better this year than he was last, but talk about his maturity and how clutch he has become for you guys.
ترك الآن في الفترة الأخيرة قاعدين دائما نركز على الأداء حقه، قاعد يتطور بشكل جدا كبير، وهو يعتبر هو الأكثر واحد يقدر يسوي كلتشز معنا في البطولة. لكن الآن السؤال هو يعني حدثنا عن أدائه وتطوره خصوصا في المباريات اللي احنا شاهدناها في جيمرز 8.
صراحة أداء ترك أسطوري وكلنا واثقين فيه إنه بيسوي اللي عليه.
He's saying that TRK is one of the best players that we have in the team, and we're always relying on him to give good results.
Our next series coming up, BDS and Furia. Of course, you're very familiar with both of these squads. Who do you see taking the win in our next series?
Furia.
He's saying Furia. I think that was obvious, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. A man of very few words, but a deadly player on the pitch. Falcons are through. They're into the semifinals. Desk, back to you.
فالكونز الآن توجهوا على طول إلى نصف النهائي. أعزائنا المشاهدين، المباراة القادمة بتكون ما بين فريقين فيوريا وبي اس. الفائز منهم راح يقابل فالكونز في نصف النهائي، فخلونا نشوف شو ممكن يصير مع بقية المباريات إن شاء الله راح نشهدها في بقية اليوم. على طول نروح للاستوديو تحليل نتكلم أكثر وش ممكن يصير.
Thank you, Stacks and Fancy. That was a wonderful showing from Team Falcons Chamaco all around. All three players getting involved.
Yeah, better than BDS, I should say. Sorry about that.
I think
good game from BDS.
No,
yeah,
BDS would have destroyed either team in this match. I'm joking, of course. Maybe we'll see that match later on in the tournament. There was no stopping Falcons in this one. Gen.G losing in all three game modes. Great fight by Chronic in the 1v1, though. That was actually, I think, one of the best 1v1s I've seen from him this whole weekend. Very composed against a star-studded lineup.
One thing we were not giving Gen.G enough credit maybe was on the 3v3. They actually managed to get one 3v3 win in this series. Obviously, after that, the last one was totally for Falcons, and they were able to close the series.
Nolly was going
not
on.
Happy with the booze for coming from the Falcons fans. He was yelling back at them. I mean, really motivated to win this one, but it wasn't meant to be. Falcons are just too good in this format, and you know they're too good in 3v3 now as well. Apparently, with Naupo added to the team, they've leveled up, and they just look like the team to be on this side of the bracket.
If Gen.G had gotten the victory, definitely Noli would have been the MVP for them because he was playing crazy. But yeah, as you mentioned, Naupo is so good at this roster. I mean, such a good addition in such notice because they were playing 2 weeks ago at Worlds with the Kali. And now here they have Naupo, and they still seem like one of the top teams in the tournament. I mean, that's saying a lot with how stacked the tournament is.
Yeah, very impressive to show up this strong in 3v3 against world-class teams after such short notice. They're looking good against Carmine Corp yesterday in threes, looking good against Gen.G in threes today. And we already knew that the 2s and 1s were going to be very strong for Falcons. Yeah, V1 are going to have their work cut out for them tomorrow if they're going to take this team down.
Wow, there it is. They take down Gen.G, and Gen.G now out of the tournament. Their Gamers8 run has been completed in the quarterfinals. Top 8, still not bad, but of course, you want to go as far as possible. For Falcons now, I mean, yeah, I said version 1 going forward. I mean, I feel from what I've heard from you off the camera as well, you feel like you're confident in that matchup going up against the V1.
Well, I do think that if the Falcons that showed up today play the V1 that showed up today, it would probably look like that match we just saw, something like a 4-1. I think V1 have, you know, got an excellent 2v2. Naupo TRK also undefeated in 2s. Can't wait to see that 2v2 matchup. Somebody's always got to go, but yeah, 3v3 Falcons look better. 1v1 Falcons also look better. You know, shout out to Beast Mode for stepping in. That is huge to come into 1v1, a game mode he's not known for, and get a win. But I think TRK is another level up, and I'm hoping really that Daniel will be that guy to come back in, because I don't know if Beast Mode has that. Hey, if he can win that one, I'm blown away.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Hey, it's time to get to our STC play of the game. We're going to hand this one over to Ahmad. Johnny, this was early on in the series too.
Yeah, they were holding on to a 3-1 lead here. Ahmad with the fake on the first Gen.G player, and then the little floor pinch it's kind of a floor pinch and a half volley at the same time. Just waits for the bounce and chips it over Chronic. Point blank range for Chronic there. No time to react. But yeah, Ahmad was performing brilliantly in 3v3. The whole series long.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, what do you do when you see both players coming at it?
No, but the pinch is so fast that, I mean, the ball goes over you, but there's no way that you can actually predict it and jump over. I mean, because usually pinches go in the ground, right? They don't lift up. So that was a... I mean, you can practice those. They definitely can. But that's a real, you know, tearjerker is that word? A
tearjerker for the Gen.G fans.
It's a worm. It's a worm. That's for sure. Anyways, we've done our play, so you know what comes next. It's our Kidia MVP, and we're gonna hand this one over. You see him right there? There it is. TRK. All around the 2s, the 1s. Johnny, he was getting involved.
Yeah, Chronic looked phenomenal today in 1v1. So TRK taking him down was a huge moment, and yeah, TRK part of that undefeated 2v2 team that continued to roll through everybody they play. This was a one-sided game too. And yeah, I think every Falcons player had their parts playing 3v3, so TRK certainly had the lion's share of the work throughout the series.
Definitely beating Chronic was huge in the series at all, as a whole. But, I mean, Ahmad, we saw him with that play. Naupo was everywhere. I mean, we were talking about how fast he is, how he is moving around the field and just doing so many things at once. It seems like he multiplies a little bit, you know, and moves so forward. So it's impressive. Yes, TRK deserves the MVP, but this win, it was a complete team effort.
Yeah, no, I think that's the key point to take away. It's like, it's a good thing when it's not always a clear, like, yeah, that's the MVP, because it means the whole team, Chimako, is getting involved in all the plays.
I agree. I mean, whenever everyone is pulling their weight, it's when the teams perform the best. And yes, I mean, ideally, you don't want to have a clear MVP. You want to have everyone performing really well, and then making us work hard for to have that MVP award.
And there we are, seeing it as Gen.G's walkout, the final one that they're going to get as they leave the stadium. Hey, the good thing is they can go enjoy the festival now, right?
Yeah, I think when this one, you know, obviously it's painful to lose, but yeah, Jack actually was one of the players who dealt best with the loss early, way back in the LA Winter Major 2022 for RLCS. A lot of players after being eliminated just wanted to sit around the hotel, fly home early. Jack was making the most of the event.
Hey, well, we have a lot more Rocket League coming your way. Of course, it's Johnny's favorite team coming up next, Team BDS, facing off against Chamaco's favorite, Team Furia.